Coming up on Bloom, we're debunking food myths for National Nutrition Month.
Carbs are not the devil. It's the wrong kind of carbs that are the devil. Think of the Pop-Tarts, the basic cereals, the basic breads, cookies, treats like that, pies, cakes.
And the author of The Human Being Diet is making garlicky shrimp in the Bloom kitchen. Plus, the Today Show's Joy Bauer is sharing green goodies just ahead of St. Patty's Day. We'll have all that and more as Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, starts now. I'm Gayle Guyardo. Welcome to Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We're talking all things food today for National Nutrition Month. And here to debunk common food myths is my friend, double certified nutritionist Martha Van Camp.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
This is such a fun topic.
It is, and this is definitely her territory. And I love the first one that we're talking about because this one I had to learn the hard way.
Right.
That carbs are fattening is the myth, right?
That is the myth. And so when we think of the three basic macronutrients, we think of carbs, we think of healthy fats, and we think of protein. So carbs are not the devil. It's the wrong kind of carbs that are the devil. Think of the Pop-Tarts, the basic cereals, the basic breads, cookies, treats like that, pies, cakes. Now, here's the big takeaway though. Any macronutrient in the wrong amount can make you gain weight. So just don't say, oh, carbs are the devil. If you think about complex carbs, rice, sweet potatoes, even russet potatoes, and we can even consider fruit complex carbs, if you think of those, we're in the clear. We're going to be good. But I've often seen weight loss coaches say, oh my gosh, she needs to lose more weight. I'm going to up her protein. Well, guess what? If you eat too much protein, you're going to gain weight. If you eat too many healthy fats, you're going to gain weight. If you eat too many complex carbs, you're going to gain weight. So this is a complicated question and answer, but the bottom line is that carbs alone, the complex carbs, the rice, the sweet potatoes, the russet potatoes, things like that, they will not make you fat, but everything in moderation. And just don't think, well, okay, I guess all day I can just eat white rice. No, it needs to be balanced with protein as well.
Yeah, I mean, I was holding on to weight, and finally, my fitness trainer said, Gayle, you gotta eat carbs.
You
know,
have
if you're
to.
lifting all these weights, you're doing all this.
Correct.
Your body needs them. So that's a good one to think about. Eating healthy is expensive.
This one makes me so mad.
Me too.
So mad, because you either go, okay, am I going to spend money on food, or am I going to spend money on fixing my poor health? If you think about this, full disclosure, a week ago, and I can't believe I even did this, a week ago, because it's been years, I actually went through the drive-thru at a very popular hamburger joint. Did it taste good? No, it was horrible. But here's what shocked me. It cost me $15 to get that meal. I ate a third of it because it was horrible. If you think about $15 times a family of four, what is that, like 60 bucks?
Right.
Eating healthy is not expensive. No one is saying you have to go buy organic. Organic's going to be a little more expensive, but if you just go and you focus on the basic macronutrients of, okay, I'm going to buy lean chicken, I'm going to go buy some vegetables, and I'm going to buy a sweet potato or get some rice. Eating itself healthfully is not expensive. It is way more expensive to go to some fast food chain that way. So eating healthy is not expensive, and you can either choose to be like, okay, I'm going to spend good quality money at the grocery store on good quality food, or I'm going to pay the price in the end, and my prescription costs are going to be through the roof. So pick your pain.
Yeah, it's so true.
Yep.
All right, this next one, it's not my area of expertise, but I'm anxious to hear what you have to say. It's not safe to fast.
Okay, when we talk about fasting, we're talking about intermittent fasting. And so I will say across the board, intermittent fasting is okay, but this is very important. Anyone should talk to their doctor about this because everyone's health is different. There are conflicting studies on the benefits of intermittent fasting when it comes to someone who has a thyroid issue. You and me both. Gayle and I are both hypothyroid. Hope it was okay to shit.
Yeah, no,
We've
talk
talked
about it
about
all
that,
the time. Yeah.
right? So I do think this is one where you need to practice the pause. Talk to your doctor. Because if you are hypothyroid or you have other adrenal gland or chronic fatigue issues, By practicing intermittent fasting, and intermittent fasting in its basic entirety is I'm going to eat in a certain amount of window, generally that's 6 or 8 hours, and then I'm not going to eat for the other 16 or 18 hours. You drink liquids, you should be drinking water, even a little bit of coffee would be fine, but you've got to realize that sometimes, just like overworking out, intermittent fasting can put more stress on your body than you need. So if specifically you have a thyroid issue or an adrenal gland issue, or you know that you suffer from something like chronic fatigue, then you should absolutely talk to your doctor. But there are massive health benefits to intermittent fasting because it does repair our diseased cells. So intermittent fasting in general is really good, but do talk to your doctor first.
All right, good to know. Salt will hurt you and increase your blood pressure.
Okay, there's 2 different salts. Brought them today. One is a white table salt. We all grew up with this. Our moms use this. Now, I think most of us are more educated at this point to realize that the pink Himalayan salt or the Celtic salt is much better. You got to realize that the white salt has gone through a heat and processing, bleaching process, if you will. So it holds no nutrient value. You add this onto your foods, you probably are going to swell up a little bit. And when you do have inflammation, your heart has to work harder. You add this, which to be honest, you're going to add less of the pink salt than you would of the white salt because this has not been processed. It has potassium in it. There are other minerals in this that are so healthy for our body. You're going to use less of this, and it's actually healthy for us.
All right, 1 minute left.
Yeah.
Certain foods will help you burn fat.
Listen, sis, there is no magic. Hit the easy button. Okay, if I eat these blueberries, if I do this, if I eat this protein, I'm going to burn fat. The thing here, as we've always talked about, is think about lean proteins, complex carbs, leafy greens, things like that. What will help you burn more fat? Strength training, resistance training, and ladies, listen up, more sleep.
Yeah, you got me into that one. I was trying to strive for 8. Now I actually try to strive for 9.
Or even 10, Gayle, but
Really?
hey, I'll give you 9.
I mean, 9 was huge for me, and I had to take that. What'd you get me on?
Oh, the ashwagandha.
Ashwagandha. That helps. I get up in the middle of the night, I take one of those, I'm right back to bed.
Right.
All right. Is there anything this woman doesn't know? We're going to share Martha's tips on BloomTampaBay.com. And stick around. We're making garlicky shrimp in the Bloom kitchen. Don't go away. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. We are back with registered clinical nutritionist Petronella Ravenshire and her husband, who owns A Taste of Tuscany in London, England, restaurateur Riccardo Moriti, who they're helping us celebrate National Nutrition Month. Guys, welcome to Bloom. It's great to see you again.
Lovely to see you, Gayle. Thank you so much for inviting us.
So you're making one of your popular recipes in your cookbook, The Human Being Diet, right?
Yeah, and we're making this because it's really easy. And if you're really in the mood for pasta, but you know that it's actually not that good for you, then zucchini linguine are the perfect alternative, and they really feel like pasta in your mouth.
So it's like a garlicky shrimp dish that we're making.
Shrimp dish, exactly. A little bit of chili. You can add as much chili as you like. Obviously, if you're avoiding nightshades, you wouldn't have the chili or the tomato, but I mean, we're not avoiding nightshades today.
We're just avoiding gluten.
Gluten, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're so lucky to have your chef husband here.
I'm so lucky.
This is great. He's kind of putting it together. So what happens next?
So we've got the olive oil in there, the garlic, the chili, the chives and parsley, a little bit of broth. That's all simmered in olive oil, extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
The only thing to cook with. It's so good for us. Yeah.
And then this is really cool. I bought one of these spirally kitchen gadgets, and it's really cool because it makes spaghetti without all the carbs and the additives and all of the things.
Really, really.
Yeah, and here we're just doing it in different sizes. So you've got the large and the small, and it's actually quite good to mix.
So this is something that you would eat in lieu of actual pasta.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it works very well. We sell a lot in London in our restaurant.
Nice.
It's very popular.
And I think it's so cute that the two of you met because you were actually seeking out gluten-free, something gluten-free for your...
for my son.
Yeah.
He was just a little guy. He was 7 or 8 at the time.
And now he's in his 30s,
Now
healthy.
he's in his 30s, yeah, exactly. No, it's really amazing. I can't keep my eye on him, but he looks all right.
Good.
I know he's not very good when it comes to cheese.
Okay.
Well, it's so hard to avoid cheese.
Yeah, it
isn't
really is. That's a tough one too. So once we get this all marinating, you use the cute little spiral gadget. They're easy to find. You can get them even drop shipped from Amazon.
Exactly.
And this is the last ingredient that we put in.
Okay.
So we can add the prawns
Prawns
now
are going in now.
All right.
and turn up the heat.
And prawns are very forgiving, you know. It's quite hard to, obviously we don't want to undercook them, but you know, even if you cook them a bit too long, they're quite forgiving.
They're okay. And, you know, a lot of times it's hard. We're here in Florida, but the show is nationally syndicated. And if you can't find fresh seafood, you can easily buy it flash frozen at your market.
Absolutely, and just let it defrost overnight in the fridge.
Okay.
It's perfect, yeah.
All right, so you get your prawns going, and then what are we adding now?
A little bit of tomato.
I wish you guys could smell it. This is definitely nice and garlicky and
It's smelling really Italian,
yeah,
isn't it?
very Mediterranean.
Very Mediterranean.
Pinch of salt, some freshly ground black pepper.
All right.
Do we turn it down too much? Is it cooking at
Well,
all
I've
now?
put it on high, I thought.
Okay,
I
there it
thought that
comes.
was on its high, so
All right.
We'll
It's
see.
cooking.
it is
All right.
cooking. It is cooking.
The good
While
thing
we're
is,
doing
once
that,
this
we
gets going, it's really quick.
Okay.
Yeah, and really delicious and so easy.
So tell me about the Human Being Diet Cookbook. You came up with this as a way of teaching all of us that we really need to eat all the whole foods.
Exactly, whole foods, and apparently 60% of the foods that most of us eat now are ultra processed. Really bad for our microbes, bad for our mood, bad for our energy. And actually, you know, when we eat whole foods, we're speaking to our DNA, and our DNA is switching off inflammation. So it's really, really, really key.
And these are simple ideas that the average family can put together. I mean, this is not, you know, really, you can swing by your market, pick up all the produce that you need. Again, if you don't have access to fresh seafood, grab the prawns in the frozen food section. And this is a great meal for the entire family.
Absolutely, really, really nutritious and delicious. And if you don't like to eat prawns, you could make it with mahi-mahi or some kind of fish, salmon or something like that. And if you're plant-based, you could also swap out the fish for tofu or tempeh.
Okay,
Yeah.
good to know, good to
Yeah.
know. What other highlights are in your books? Because your mission is to help folks heal through the foods that they eat.
Absolutely. So the main thing, as far as I'm concerned, a one-pot dish is great because you've got that much less washing up to do. So a one-pot dish is most of the dishes in there, and they're really simple. I mean, anybody can do them. You don't have to be a good cook.
Now, is it great having a husband who's a chef? Does he do all the cooking? Do you guys cook together? How does it work in your household?
He does most of the cooking, and I was very nervous the first time I cooked for him, but he really likes roast chicken, so that's very lucky because that's quite easy.
And we cook together.
You do? Yeah, it is kind of fun to cook together as a couple. I mean, my husband and I are not like seasoned like the both of you when it comes to cooking, but we learned a lot during the pandemic, and cooking and sitting around the table and getting out of our comfort zone is a lot easier than we thought it would be.
It is easy, isn't it? It's
yeah,
fun.
it's a lot of fun, and
Yeah,
thanks in
it
part
is,
to like
yeah.
recipes like this.
And do you take it in turns to do the washing up as
Oh
well?
yes.
Yeah.
I usually like to do a lot of the cooking, and then he likes to. He doesn't mind doing the KP duty. So, Chef, how long do we cook the zucchini for?
I mean, if I put a lid on, that would be a little bit quicker, but now another 30 seconds, 40 seconds, that should be ready.
Because we're not really cooking, so we're just heating it through.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
I just add the rest of the herbs,
Yeah.
and then that's ready to go.
That looks absolutely wonderful. Again, guys,
Almost.
if you can smell this garlicky recipe, you will fall in love with it. It's in the Human Being Diet Cookbook. And thank you guys both. We really appreciate you coming to the Tampa
Thank
area.
you so much, Gayle. It's lovely to see you. Thank you.
It's
Thank
so
you.
great to meet you, Ricardo.
Very
Thank
nice
you.
to meet you.
You can watch us prepare this meal on bloomtampabay.com. We'll give you all the information you need about the cookbook, and we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging, saving lives through early detection. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. We put them on our burgers. Sometimes we fry them up or just eat them as they are. Pickles are a fan favorite for many. Here with their health benefits is longevity dietitian and gut health expert and the author of Healthy Cooking for High Performers, Ella DeVar. Ella, it's great to see you.
Gayle, get excited. How about a 0-calorie snack? Also high in electrolytes, in probiotics and fiber. I mean, a dietitian dream come true, right?
Yes.
My only problem is to make my clients fall in love with this snack. So it's fermented pickles.
I love pickles. I'm a huge fan of them, and I know fermenting foods is also very healthy for you as well.
That's what creates live bacteria that helps our digestion. That's called probiotics. And that's what I want to teach you today. The easy way, the cucumbers are 0 calories on their own. And the ingredients that we'll be using, mostly aromatics and a little bit of salt. Salt is high in electrolytes, and aromatics help with anti-inflammatory properties, and specifically turmeric. That would be the secret ingredients today. So all we need is chop up some cucumbers. Why don't you start cutting up the cucumbers however you want. We can slice them up or you can put them in spears. Because we have this tall jar, I actually did mine. I quartered them into spears.
Oh, you like spears?
Like this? Yes, this is more like a European way. But last night or like 2 days ago, this one, what I did for you, for you to try today, this one is sliced up.
Okay.
So however you like. The only thing here is that you want to make sure that they all are the same thickness.
Okay.
All right. So
now
this,
you tell me. No, I'm just joking. I think they're kind of close.
and this way, the consistency will be the same after a couple of days of fermenting them.
Okay.
Okay. So sometimes classical recipes, when they see pickled cucumbers, the ones that are store-bought, that are on the shelf, what they use pasteurization process as well as vinegar. And what that does, it kills bacteria, and that's why it becomes shelf-stable, but it also kills probiotics. And as much as I love recommending fermented vegetables to my clients, I always have to make sure it's the ones that are made without vinegar that you should go for. And guess what? They still sell them in supermarkets, but they're in the refrigerated section.
Oh, okay.
Not on the shelf. So that's what we will not be using any vinegar today.
Okay.
Another thing, classical recipes, they call for sugar. We will not be using that as well to save calories. I know maybe it tastes better with sugar, but without sugar, it remains at 0 calories. So the proportions here for the brine, after you could put the cucumbers in here, pack them up tightly.
Okay.
Here we'll have both shapes, slices and spears. The proportions are very important, that we use 1 cup of water and 9 grams of salt.
Okay.
That's very important. 9 grams of salt is 2 teaspoons. So I'm going to begin making the brine.
Okay.
Okay. 2 teaspoons of salt. And then after we create the brine, we're going to use some aromatics. My favorites are caraway seeds, which is traditional spices that are used in Europe to create the pickles, as well as some peppercorns, however you like. Some people like to add red pepper flakes. And what I'll be using is turmeric today. You probably know that turmeric is high in antioxidant called curcumin, and that helps with lowering inflammation in our body. So I'll be using half a teaspoon of that. Do you use turmeric at all in your kitchen?
I do. I love it.
How do you use it?
I use it in the form of tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't get to use it very often. So whenever I get a chance, and I teach my clients, whenever there's an opportunity to add it, and turmeric, turmeric flavored pickles is one way for me to incorporate more curcumin into my diet. So here's the brine, basically.
Okay.
Remember, 2 teaspoons of salt, no sugar, caraway seeds, and salt. So we pour it over the cucumbers.
Okay.
And with that, so the fermentation process, we're gonna, put a lid over it and keep it in the room temperature for up to 48 hours. After 24 hours within the day, what I usually do is taste it, and it really depends on you. The fermentation process is personalized. It depends on your flavor. If you like them crunchy, dare I say, like chips, you maybe 24 hours later they'll be ready for you. If you like them softer and more saltier and brinier, that's when you probably want to store them for up to 48 hours. And after you achieve the desired taste, then you store them in the fridge to stop the fermentation process.
Okay.
Another aromatics, I like to use garlic, another hugely anti-inflammatory.
I didn't realize that.
Yes, and what we need here is a lid to cover. You can also use any glass container. Mason jar is ideal. So this one I've made a little bit more than 24 hours ago, and I'm excited for you to try it.
Okay, I can't wait. I love
There's
pickles.
a fork over there.
Okay.
Okay, so they're more or less fresh, but they have a lot of flavor. And I love using sea salt with a little bit of, iodine. And guess what? This is a 0-calorie snack, high in probiotics, if you let it ferment for 48 hours like this, and high in electrolytes.
It's delicious. I absolutely love it. It's better than the store-bought. And you saw how easy it is to make it.
Right?
Yeah. If you want to watch us put this together or check out Ella's recipe, we have put it all there for you on bloomtampabay.com. And when we come back, we're catching up with the Today Show's Joy Bauer. She's sharing some of her delicious recipes just in time for St. Patty's Day when Bloom returns. Living the Tampa Bay lifestyle means enjoying the sand, sun, and outdoors fun. So get out, get active, and nurture those healthy habits. Hey there, I'm Gayle, host of Bloom. Now there's a new all-inclusive place with everything you need to shape your lifestyle, boost your health, and improve your wellness. BloomTampaBay.com, Tampa Bay's premier health and wellness website, made to help you feel good. Whether you're a fitness fanatic, beauty buff, or just want to take your first step towards positive change, this free website is for you. See the Bay Area's hottest fitness products, the latest workout crazes, and learn nutrition tips from the experts. Plus, discover local events and experiences designed with your well-being in mind. Cultivate a healthy mind, body, and soul. Check out BloomTampaBay.com, your local health and wellness website. That's BloomTampaBay.com. We're back with this week's What the Health series with the Today Show's nutrition, health, and lifestyle expert, Joy Bauer, who's sharing green goodies just ahead of St. Patrick's Day. Joy, it's so great to see you.
It's so great to see you, and happy almost St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I'm feeling lucky because I'm with my friend Gayle and with Bloom. I thought it would be fun to do some sort of green-themed goodies.
I love it. Except for I'm in
Nutritious,
blue,
of
but
course.
I'm ready.
You're ready. I could tell. Look at my rings. I didn't
cute.
realize that they were going to light up, but they're kind of cool.
I'd almost think you were Irish. Joy, you're so into it. I love it.
I think everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day.
It's true. It's true.
So what I wanted to do is a spin on hummus. And you can see here, this is an edamame hummus. So it's tinted green, which is really cool. But honestly, it's the flavor that's going to sell you. I did this one on the Today Show, and the hosts were saying that they actually enjoyed the flavor of this edamame hummus even more so than traditional hummus. And what I love, I'm showing you here, it's just a frozen bag. Any brand of shelled hummus will work. And you want to thaw them. And then basically it's sort of like a dump and puree in a food processor situation. It is so easy and it's so creamy and luxurious. So I'm going to show you how I make it. So I put my shelled edamame in with tahini paste, that's sesame paste, a little rice vinegar, extra virgin olive oil, a little bit of water, lemon juice, soy sauce, garlic, salt, and pepper. And the soy sauce and the rice vinegar give it a bit of an Asian-inspired flavor that is so terrific. And there you see I drizzled a little bit of extra virgin olive oil over the top, and I just garnished it with some edamame seeds, edamame pods. And the edamame also, not only does it bring the fiber and the protein that chickpeas brings, but it also has plant-based omega-3 fats, which helps to drive down triglyceride levels. It eases inflammation within the body. And Gayle, it tastes so darn good. And I wish I had green vegetables to dip it in. I opened my fridge. I just got back from a work travel trip. I was cleaned out. I was hoping for like cucumbers, sugar snap peas, green beans, sticking with the green theme, but I only had carrots. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna give it a dip.
Okay.
Look at that. It's really thick and velvety. It's so good. And I would take a bite, but I have to keep talking, and I'm gonna have it all over my teeth.
All right. It looks great though. So delicious.
Really, really good. So edamame hummus for St. Patrick's Day. So the next thing I want to show you, I'm trying to think if I should I do the kale chips next, or should I do a shamrock shake?
You can do the kale chips.
Okay, great. So for the kale chips, This is going to be really fast. I'm not going to make it in real time, and I don't have a video, but all I've done is you take a bunch of kale and you're going to get rid of the tough inner veins, the stems, and you have all of these soft leaves on the outside. You tear them up, lay them out on a baking sheet in a single file, and you mist the top generously with some olive oil spray, a little bit of salt and pepper. You pop this in the oven, set it 400 for 8 to 10 minutes, and you basically make good for you potato chips.
I love
They
it.
are so yummy and they're so addictive, and that's okay because you could keep eating handful after handful. And I would tell people make 2 batches at the same time because they're going to go really fast.
They go fast in my house too, but I love that easy recipe that you did. It's so quick and
Yeah. In the oven at 400 for 8 to 10 minutes. And you guys will have the recipe link on your website as well. So nobody has to memorize that. So this next one is not green, but it screams St. Patrick's Day. It's a shamrock shake. And normally they cost a fortune. They have a bazillion calories. They're loaded with sugar. This one is made without a drop of added sugar. And I'm telling you, it's thick and rich and absolutely delicious. So the only thing that's in it is going to be milk of choice, some cocoa powder, 2 ripe bananas. I have vanilla extract, a drop of mint extract. It's going to give it that great minty flavor. And the mint leaves are here only really for garnish. So let me show you how easy this is to make. In a blender, you add your bananas, your cocoa powder, your extracts, your milk. You blend this up. I also put some ice cubes in there, and look how thick that is. It is so thick. It's so luscious. Of course, the whipped cream is optional, but is it really? I don't think so.
man, that looks good, Joy. That's delicious. And then you just put the little mint sprigs right on top there.
Yeah, for a little bit of garnish, and it's so yummy. That made 2 servings. So if you want to cut it back, you could do the whole entire thing, scale it down, half it. It would be 1 ripe banana. But I would say also, if you can, freeze the banana beforehand because it's just going to make it that much thicker. And it's really a beverage with benefits because it's got the potassium from the banana. It has all the antioxidants and the flavonols from the cocoa powder. And again, there's not a drop of added sugar.
Man,
so delicious.
That is awesome. Well, Joy, it is such a pleasure. Thank you for joining us and bringing a little Luck of the Irish early to the Bloom viewers.
Oh, you got it. Everybody have a great holiday celebrating. Mwah.
Mwah. Thanks, Joy. We're going to share these recipes with you on BloomTampaBay.com. And up next, we're heading into the Bloom kitchen with Dr. Anya Zaghetti making chocolate peanut butter protein bites. We'll be right back. You're watching Bloom, presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We begin where your checkup ends. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today. Welcome back to Bloom. Nutritious foods can actually satisfy your sweet tooth. Here with proof is holistic functional doctor and digestive detective Dr. Anya Zaghetti, who is the best-selling author of You Can't Outrun Your Fork. Dr. Zaghetti, it is so great to see you.
So great to be here again, Gayle. Thank you.
So we're talking about fun trends that you might see on social media, and I've seen a lot popping up of people making nutritious sweets. So you're making one today. What is it?
This is my peanut butter protein bites.
Okay.
And what I love about it is, yes, it's sweet, so it's going to satisfy that sweet tooth, but it also has healthy fats and high quality protein to keep you satiated so your blood sugars don't spike and it doesn't throw your hormones out of whack.
Nice. All right, so we're starting with oats.
Yes, so these are gluten-free organic oats. Very, very important. You can go ahead and throw those in the bowl for us. So it's going to give us some fiber, but if these were eaten alone, they would spike your blood sugar. So it's important to add something in, like a healthy fat, which is we're going to use with the organic peanut butter that we have here.
Put the whole thing in there?
Yes, put the whole thing in there. So that's 1 cup of peanut butter. And so this is going to provide some very good, beneficial, healthy fats to help keep you satisfied and also give you some energy as well.
Okay.
Next, we have a little bit of honey. So you can throw that in there too to give a little sweetness. And honey, if you get a raw, local, organic honey, it's actually really good for your allergies as well.
I love finding that at the local farmers market. So awesome.
Yes, exactly. And then the next item we have, this is a high quality protein. So this is a protein powder. I select a grass-fed whey protein, and you want to pick one that has the least number of other ingredients in it, so that that's going to be healthier for you.
Okay, so some protein powder.
Yep, so we can throw that in there, and then just some dark chocolate and mini chocolate chips. This gives a nice little flavor, and we're only using 2 tablespoons for this entire recipe, so it's not too much, but just enough to give us a nice little chocolate bite to it as well. So if you want to give that a stir,
Okay.
you can mix that up. So this is a fun job for the kids
Yes.
also. My husband, I always put him to work and have him stir this up. And I did bring some as well that's already mixed, so we
Okay,
can
so we'll
use
do
that.
a little switcheroo.
We'll do a little switcheroo there. And I just use a little melon scooper.
Okay.
And I scoop out a little bit. And then you do get your hands a little bit dirty, but again, it's a fun job for the kids. And then you just squish it together and you roll it into a tiny little, perfect little protein bite.
And they smell, it smells so
They're
good.
so good. I'm excited for you to try
Yeah.
them. You're going to love them.
Okay.
So if you want to grab one off of there,
All right.
let me give it a try. So good.
They're really, really good. And I like that you explained that some foods alone don't do well for your body when it comes to digesting. I didn't realize that oats needs to be mixed with a healthy fat.
They're high in carbohydrates, and they have some fiber, but not enough to lower that blood sugar spike. So if we have a healthy fat, if we have high quality protein, or even another fiber source like some berries, that will help to balance it out.
Now, when should we be eating this? How much quantity? Is this a good snack? Where would you work this into a meal plan?
So I personally use them as an emergency snack
Okay.
very often. I do take them with us RVing and hiking.
Okay.
Because I say you can keep in the refrigerator, but I also keep them just in my car.
You do?
Or in my backpack, because
Okay.
there's no ingredients that are going to go bad. They don't last very long, I will say
Okay,
that. I have
yeah.
to make a double batch at a time. Pre-workout, post-workout snacks, they're fantastic as well, because you're getting the macronutrients that you need to sustain.
Now, do we need to worry about a calorie count if you're just having a few of these?
I'm not a big fan of counting calories.
Okay.
I'm a fan of abundance. And if you're eating foods in the whole state, then I feel like that there's less concern for counting calories. So these, since they are so satiating with the peanut butter, it's going to be hard to overeat them, even though they do taste delicious.
And let's talk real quickly, because we have about a minute left, but you were talking about the whey protein powder and really being careful when it comes to reading the ingredients of what you're selecting, because there's so many protein powders out there.
Yeah, so the main thing is what type of protein is being used. And I go so far as, when I work one-on-one with my patients, to have them send me the ingredients label. And if it doesn't say the sourcing of the protein, I actually contact the company and I ask them where they're sourcing their protein from. And so I highly recommend that people do that, because there is a lot of vague information given on a lot of the labels. So grass-fed, whenever it comes to anything with beef or red meat, that is the standard that we want to go for. So we want to make sure that, number one, that the protein powder is grass-fed.
You really are a detective. You weren't joking around in the introduction. All right, thank you so much, Dr. Zaghetti. It's always so great to see you.
Thank you, Gayle.
And we're going to share this recipe on bloomtampabay.com. You have to try it. It's absolutely amazing. And we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. There's a new trend on TikTok called water talk. Here with the benefits or how we could go wrong with this new trend is registered and licensed dietitian nutritionist Cassandra Sampson. It is so good to see you, Cassandra.
Hello. Yes, so this trend is going viral on social media platforms, and it's very interesting because you might think a trend to drink water, like how wild can that be? But unfortunately, there could be a downside to these different trends that we're seeing online.
So what it is it's a hashtag on TikTok, and it's spelled water talk, T-O-K, which I think is very clever.
I agree.
And people are kind of posting videos of how they enhance a hydration experience, which could be great, but then you said other people, as you're watching on TikTok, are adding too much sugar and stuff that's not good for you.
Too much sugar. I like how you said water experience. That's funny. Yeah, so people are posting their water of the day. So I have seen people put in different flavors and different syrups and lots of carbonation, lots of added sugar, artificial sweeteners. So it really kind of takes away from the initial intent, which was to drink more water. And it's springtime, it's getting hot outside, there are, spring break vacations happening. So dehydration can be, right around the corner for us. So it's important to make sure that whatever we're drinking, it's going to be tasty and it's going to actually be very effective too.
All right, so show me some of the enhancements that you brought along.
Yeah, so this one I actually made last evening. It's just it's just green apples, it's fresh mint, it is grated ginger, and then it's a squeeze of lime. So it's colorful, it's delicious, it's flavorful, it's refreshing, and it's easy. And the good thing about making your own infused water here with fruits and vegetables and herbs and spices is you really can't do it wrong. You just add whatever you think is going to taste good, let it soak overnight, pour it up, and cheers. And that's really it.
Okay, so soaking overnight is how you get most of the flavor in there. And then you brought some other add-ons.
Yes, so you don't have to soak it overnight. If you just want a little spritzy mocktail, you can just scoop a few of these blueberries, plop them on in there. Take some fresh mint, kind of use the heat of your hand to kind of get it going, and put it right in your glass, put some ice on top. And that's it.
That's what I did during Dry January. I had so much fun enhancing different sparkling waters or regular waters, and it did work. I mean, I did lose 5 pounds, which I've since gained back since not Dry January.
But that's great, because hydration is always important, and you would be so surprised how many American adults are dehydrated.
Yes.
75% of adult Americans are chronically dehydrated, which for the most part, it's preventable.
And I think because a lot of people are like, man, I'm just not a water drinker. It's so boring. So this is a way that you can work around that.
Yes, and fruits and vegetables actually have a really high water content. So if you made a fruit smoothie, if you juiced some veggies, if you had a nice refreshing salad, you're still getting, some really good hydration benefits with those foods.
Okay, so are we going to put a few things together?
Yes, let's put a few things together.
All right.
I'm going to pour some of this, guys. So the spout that I have, it will catch anything, that's kind of big.
Okay.
As far as the mint goes or the apples go. But there's other pitchers out there that you can get that will kind of contain the fruit and the herbs, so you're not, kind of swallowing it.
Okay.
But what's kind of fun is when you're done with your water, you'll have some nice refreshing fruit at the end of it to eat.
Oh, that is good. I guess I never thought of that part, but that's good stuff.
Yes, and if you're wondering, men need about 15 to 16 cups of water a day, and then women need about 11 to 12. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's a lot of water. So especially as we start to get hotter and hotter in the coming months.
Yeah, and dehydration is a major cause of hospitalizations.
Cheers.
Yes.
Is it? I didn't know that.
Whoa.
That's good.
You taste the ginger?
Yeah, I love it. It's not overpowering, but it's just enough to not be bored with whatever you're drinking.
Yeah, it's very refreshing.
This is a great recipe. Some other fruits that you can add, whatever your flavor is, just have at it.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah, we're going to share Cassandra's tips, though, on bloomtampabay.com. And before we go to break, it's time for today's Bloom Trivia question. True or false? If you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. We'll have the answer later on Bloom. Welcome back. We've all heard the saying, work smarter, not harder. Well, this also applies in the kitchen. Here to help us eat smarter with a brain-boosting breakfast you can make in less than 15 seconds is integrative and functional registered dietitian, Carolyn O'Connor. It is so great to see you.
Pleasure to be here.
So 15 seconds, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, 15 seconds. When I was thinking of this, I really wanted to tackle one of the biggest barriers that I hear about breakfast, which is time. We're running out the door, we're getting kids ready, we're going to the gym before work, and time is just a huge obstacle. So I wanted something quick, easy, simple, ready to go.
So talk me through the ingredients here.
Yes, absolutely. So we're going to start with our base, which is a Greek yogurt. We want a protein-heavy base for a couple of different reasons. First off, when we're talking about brain-boosting power, that protein helps us produce and transmit all of our neurotransmitter messages. So mood support, cognitive abilities throughout the course of the day. And then you've heard me say it before, but I'll say it again, protein is great for blood sugar stabilization throughout the course of the day. Also super important because when we stabilize our blood sugar with protein, we get a really steady, consistent supply of glucose throughout the whole day, which supports energy and that cognition and focus long term, not just in the morning, but actually it affects you in the afternoon as well.
Oh, wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, and I want to just mention, something to look for when we're talking about Greek yogurt is the added sugars section on the label. I want to encourage that we're looking for one with the minimal amount of added sugars on there.
Which would be what?
There's a couple different brands out there that support that. I'd say like something that's naturally sweetened. So you're gonna wanna check that ingredients label for like stevia. But if you have to do a dairy alternative, I would recommend that you're probably gonna wanna add some additional protein powder to the yogurt. A dairy alternative yogurt tends to be low in protein, can be high in added sugar, so it's just something that we should look out for.
Okay.
From there, we're gonna move over here and we can go ahead and actually put these in. We have a combination of nuts and seeds. With that, we're looking at healthy fats and omega-3s. The brain is made up of almost 60% fat. So having our essential fatty acids as part of our brain boosting breakfast is crucial. The healthy fats actually help us support think of like the messaging that happens subconsciously all throughout the day, all the little signals that are firing off in your brain. These fatty acids help to support that, and they provide the building blocks that we need. And so we want to add that as well to our little brain boosting breakfast. And last but not least, we have blueberries here. And you could do any berries really at all. Anything brightly colored is going to be packed with antioxidants. We're adding antioxidants because they're essentially the little fighters in the body. They're fighting inflammation, they're fighting free radicals, they're fighting oxidative stress. And so we're gonna get the short-term benefit of the brain boost by starting our day with them, but we're also gonna get the long-term prevention of chronic disease, the long-term prevention of cognitive decline, memory issues, and some of those things that we might worry about as we age.
This is really great. I mean, when you have 3 simple ingredients like this, you don't think of the power of the food, especially to jumpstart your day. So thanks for coming on and pulling this all together. Can I take a little sample?
Yep.
All right, so I'll mix it all together. It's always good because I like to eat and then try to tuck in my mouthful. Good stuff.
Yep.
All right, we're going to share Carolyn's recipe on bloomtampabay.com. And we'll be back with more Bloom right after this. It's time for today's Bloom trivia question, true or false? If you're thirsty, you're already dehydrated. The answer is false. Being thirsty could be an indicator that you're dehydrated, but something as simple as eating spicy foods or side effects from certain medications could be making you thirsty. Well, thank you so much for tuning into Bloom today. You can catch Bloom anytime by following us on social media. We're on all major platforms, so get a behind-the-scenes look at all of the innovative breakthrough health and wellness conversations and incredible guests that we have right here on Bloom. And don't forget to check out our Bloom podcast, the Bloom Health Club. You can catch it live on Facebook and YouTube on Mondays at 2 p.m. We take a deep dive and have extended conversations with some of the top guests that we have right here on Bloom. Of course, you can stream episodes anytime on Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Well, we hope you'll tune in again on the next Bloom presented by Lifeguard Imaging. We're sharing dangerous trends surfacing, including one called Budget Ozempic, from people who can't afford the popular weight loss drug. We'll tell you what they're doing. And we are getting you red carpet ready just in time for Oscar parties. So stay healthy, everyone, and I will see you on the next Bloom. Call now 813-582-5222 to schedule your scan today.